Okay, here we go with Chapter 2, Lesson 2, Divide by One-Digit Divisors. This looks a little bit, at first glance, like what we did yesterday. We're wanting you to learn how to check your work. And we're also wanting to show you a little bit of algebra. So starting off with a quick, simple one to show you how to check your work. 8,000 goes into 624. 8 goes into 6 or 600. It doesn't, not evenly. 600s can't be divided among 8 people, but 8 does go into 62 tens. 62 tens, 8 times 7 is 56. 56 tens can go evenly, and then there's some left over. It happens to be 6 left over. 6 tens left over. Bring down your 4, which is 64. That goes in evenly. 8 goes into 64 8 times. 8 times 8 is 64. And you're left with nothing, no remainder. Okay, this is good news. And we want to know if it's right. We can do the opposite of division, which is 78 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 6. 56 plus 6 is 62. So we see that we got the right answer. Okay? If we have something simple, we'll do a real small problem, and I'll show you a quick trick. Something like 3 into 13. Okay, does 3 go into, can you split 10s up among 3 people? No, but you can split 1s up. 3 goes into 13 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12. You have a leftover of 1. Okay, so how do you check this one? Well, you have the opposite of division is multiplication. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then you have to add your remainder. So you have 3 times 4 or 4 times 3 plus your remainder. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 equals 13, and we get a pretty good answer. Okay? Didn't need to undo that. I wanted to wipe it and start with a new, fresh page. One of the things you have to be able to do is the algebra portion. So if we're just to throw a number up here, like 3 into 257, 3 goes into 25, 25 tens, 8 times. It doesn't go into 200s very well. 200 can't go into 3, but 25. Tens can. 8 times 3 is 24. That leaves 10. 5 minus 4 is 1. There's 1 10 left to bring down 7 ones. 3 goes into 17 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15 with a remainder of 2. Okay, so this is your divisor. This, put the arrows on there, is your dividend. And this is your quotient. Okay, so if we wanted to check, we would say 85 times 3 plus the remainder, and it should equal, kind of ran out of room for my equal sign, 257. Okay, squeeze that in. 257 should be what it equals. Well, what happens if they give you something and you can't quite figure it out? 7 goes into 60, goes into something, give you nothing there. Let's leave it blank. 7 goes into something 63 times. And they just leave this out. In algebra, we usually put a letter in. It's a variable like an n or an x. It goes into something. Well, if we wanted to check our work here, we'd say 63 times 7 equals blank, or we'll put in n. What's related? This is the multiplication problem that relates to the division problem. 63 times 7 equals n, so 7 goes into something 63 times. If we wanted to just throw this real quick into a math problem, start working out our answer, 42, 44, 411. So the dividend, that's what we didn't know, is equal to 441, assuming I did my math right. Sometimes they'll do it a little bit differently. They might say 125 is actually the quotient. The divisor is 6 and the dividend is 752. And they just want to know what the remainder is. The remainder is the question mark. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. We have to go 125 times 6, the inverse function, 125 times 6 plus the blank. Again, I'm going to put an n. It's some number is equal to 752. The dividend and the quotient, sorry, the divisor multiplied by the quotient added to the remainder gives you the dividend. All of those words get mixed up in my mouth, and I know they do in yours too. We have to learn how to be comfortable using them. So how can I solve this problem? Well, let's start by, first of all, it's not 75, it's 752. Let's start by multiplying 125 times 6. Okay, 125 times 6 is, carry the 3 up there, 12 plus 3 is 15, 6 plus 1 is 7, 750. So if I rewrite this, 750 plus n equals 752. Can we tell what n is? Yeah, n has to be equal to 2 because 750 plus 2 equals 752. So the remainder is equal to 2 in this problem. I don't want this lesson to go on any longer. It's plenty for you to think about. Go ahead and rewatch these two examples as many times as you need to in order to get your homework done. If you have questions, ask me in class or call me at home. Talk to you later. Have a nice day.